Today on Missing Number, the notorious rumor that Sonic was in Super Smash Bros. Melee, and the story of Funny Pizza Land, a surreal obscure game that was made in the early 2000s. Missing Number starts now. Electronic Gaming Monthly was a renowned magazine that was one of the few trusted sources of gaming news back in the early 2000s. They were considered an authority on games at a time when information wasn't as easily accessible or verifiable as it is now. So when EGM wrote a blurb in their April 2002 issue that Sonic was a secret unlockable character in Super Smash Bros., the fandom freaked out. It was unthinkable since Nintendo and Sega were rivals for years, and Smash Bros. At the time did not include characters from games that were not developed or published by Nintendo. But since Sega just became a third-party developer at the time and released Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the GameCube, which was the first Sonic game released on a Nintendo system, the dream of a crossover Sonic and Mario game was now a real possibility. According to EGM, Sonic and Tails could be unlocked in Melee if you killed 20 opponents in Cruel Mode, which was a mode that pitted you against waves of brutally difficult NPCs. After 20 KOs, Sonic and Tails would appear as opponents and would become playable if they were defeated. EGM also noted that if you beat Classic Mode with either character, you would get a special surprise. EGM even included screenshots of Sonic in the game, which was enough to convince my younger self at the time to try to unlock the Blue Hedgehog. I forget how long it took, but I was actually able to get over 20 kills by playing as Donkey Kong and spamming his down B move, which involves slapping the ground repeatedly. To my dismay, however, Sonic and Tails never appeared after 20 KOs. It turned out that the Sonic Melee tip was an April Fool's joke, even though EGM's April issue was ostensibly sent out in February. Unbeknownst to kids like myself at the time, EGM had a tradition of doing April Fool's pranks. While the screenshots of Sonic and Smash Bros. Looked real at the time, at least to doe-eyed kids like me, looking back at it now, there are some subtle clues that the pictures are fake. For starters, all of the character select screen art are original except for Sonic and Tails. Both are apparently renders from Sonic Adventure. Sonic and Tails also aren't grouped together on the fighter select screen like with Mario and Luigi. Additionally, the message for unlocking Sonic has too many capitalized letters, and when you unlock all characters in the game without unlocking Sonic and Tails, you still get a message that says that you unlocked all characters. The big giveaway though are the numbers included in Sonic's unlock notice, which translates to April 1st, 2002. At the time, April Fool's pranks, especially from gaming media, weren't as common as they are now. As such, EGM was able to dupe a lot of people, despite the April issue of EGM coming out 2 to 3 months after Melee's release. Back then there was no social media. People still used AOL, GeoCities, and VHS. Word of mouth helped spread the hoax, and eventually it got enough attention that Nintendo updated the FAQ section of their Smash Bros. Website to dispel the lie. Nintendo Power also allegedly addressed the hoax in one of their issues. Furthermore, GameFAQs purportedly had to make a sticky topic about the situation since so many people were submitting cheats to the site. Even 9 years after the game's release, people were still posting on random forums asking if Sonic was in Smash Bros. What helped make the Sonic hoax believable was that the requirement to unlock Sonic wasn't that weird compared to the other secret characters. To unlock Luigi, for example, you had to complete the first level in Adventure Mode with the number 2 in the seconds counter. And then there was the fact that there were 2 conspicuous empty spaces on the character select screen. Eventually, in the May 2002 issue of EGM, the publication admitted that the Sonic tip was a joke, while also indirectly calling people fools. The magazine featured letters that they received from unwitting readers that still thought that Sonic was in the game, to which EGM replied, "Many were painful for us to read, knowing that the dream would never be realized for, well, all of these people. EGM also sarcastically replied to individual readers who had trouble unlocking Sonic. In one response, EGM wrote that they made a typo and that players actually needed to get 200 kills. It's a middle finger to those who actually attempted to unlock Sonic, but EGM did say that they felt bad, and to make things up, they were giving away 10 free copies of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle to players that mailed in a VHS tape of them getting over 20 kills in the Cruel mode. What's more, EGM's hoax wasn't completely unfounded. Sonic's co-creator Yuji Naka revealed in past interviews that he did talk to Nintendo about including Sonic and Melee. He really wanted to make it happen, but it wasn't possible since the game was too far into development. Players would have to wait until 2008's Super Smash Bros. Brawl to finally play as the Blue Hedgehog, who was later modded into Melee. EGM's Sonic prank is considered to be one of the greatest gaming hoaxes of all time. If you like this video so far, be sure to subscribe, like, and click the bell icon for notifications. If you have any gaming myths, mysteries, oddities, or Easter eggs, be sure to let me know. You can also check out my other YouTube channel and watch me live on Twitch. The links are in the video description. Now back to the show. Dark and weird indie games are a dime a dozen. Some try to replicate the vibe of old school horror games, but they usually end up feeling like they were made with modern technology. There's one indie game though that's authentically strange and retro before being such a thing was trendy. Funny Pizza Land is a crude and obscure 2002 game that has a dystopian surrealism quality. It's dark and twisted as it features strange character models with ghoulish faces. In one level, someone who is locked in a cage can be heard screaming as their captor watches on. At the same time, however, the game is quirky and has whimsical music. Despite how esoteric the game seems, Funny Pizza Land does have a comprehensible, yet odd story. According to the game's old website and cutscenes, you play as a restaurant owner named Pedro who needs money. One day he enters a forest and finds a wanted poster for someone named Global Media Monster. The reward for getting him is 100,000 euros, and so Pedro goes on a mission to find this freak. The game at the time cost $17.95 in the US, and in order to buy it, you had to fill out an online form and send money to the game creator's bank account. Funny Pizza Land went unnoticed for years, but in 2011, the game suddenly appeared online. Then eventually PewDiePie and Vinesauce ended up playing the game, which put it on the map. Later, it was released on Steam on October 8, 2022. The game was made in 2002, but there was skepticism if that was actually true. Some thought Funny Pizza Land was just a modern game made to look old and creepy. On December 7th, 2024, a YouTuber named Hey Peter uploaded a video where he revealed that he was able to get in touch with the game's creator, who ended up explaining the origin and meaning of Funny Pizza Land. The game's creator is an artist named Roman, who was born in 1978 and raised in Munich, Germany. Growing up, he was into surrealism, cubism, and Picasso-style art. Roman was broke when he was 23, but in the late 90s to early 2000s, the internet was taking off, and Roman saw it as a way to reach a bigger audience and make money. Roman wanted to make a game, but had no experience, so he bought a game design book and started making Funny Pizza Land. The reason why characters in the game look ugly is because once Roman was finished working on something, he would move on to the next thing regardless of appearance. This made the game darker, but it was never intentionally meant to be scary, or even serious or funny. The game is just expressive and surreal, and it was born out of artistic passion. When people ordered Funny Pizza Land at the time, Roman would burn the game on discs and send them by mail. As for what Global Media Monster represents, it was a reflection of Roman's business plan and circumstances at the time. Roman was poor just like Pedro, and Global Media Monster was a way to make money. Nowadays, however, Roman says the antagonist has become the personalization of fake accounts, internet trolls, things like anonymous masks, and endless shitstorms.